Alright, we got us a beer from Dieu du Ciel again. And I'm going to pronounce this wrong. This is the Derniere Volonte or something. Belgian IPA. It's 7% alcohol by volume. From Quebec, Canada. Let's give this an epic pour.
7%. Dieu du Ciel. Derniere, Volonte, Belgian style IPA, 7%. Dieu du Ciel, Derniere, Volonte, Belgian style IPA, 7%. Dieu du Ciel, Derniere, Volonte, Belgian style IPA, 7%. Dieu du Ciel, Derniere, Volonte, Belgian style IPA, 7%.
Okay, so getting almost like a domestic pale lager smell out of this. Very much so. It's weird. It's a awesome looking head on there though. Just fluffy. Slightly turbid, tons of carbonation. So we're getting some orange citrus notes, almost like Pilsner hop type things going on, but more just like a dry hop, more typical IPA dry hoppage. But there's a real sharp bitter edge there in the back, almost a lemony, like lemon rind, orange rind bitterness. Very effervescent on the carbonation. Tons of CO2 in this beer. Yeah, it's pretty much just a slight bit of grapefruit, like white grapefruit, very bitter. It's really kind of showcasing the IPA, or we'll say the West Coast type, citrus type hops a little bit differently with this yeast. It's kind of a little bit... That's added the Belgian aspect right there. The yeast is making it far different than your typical American ale yeast or whatever. Oh, it's fairly dry. Just a lot of that white grapefruit bitterness, orange rind, a little bit of orange, a little bit of lemon. Not a whole lot of malts here. Just kind of a nice dryness to it, a very gritty, dry IPA. Not a whole lot of malt, just typical pale malt, and then you're getting some. As for the Belgian yeast characteristics, it's really hard to determine with the dry hoppage in here. That's kind of like they're fighting for territory. But I think I'm mostly pulling out the hops over the Belgian yeast characteristics. Like for a Belgian beer, I'm not noticing the Belgian flavors that much. I'm mostly noticing the CO2 here. It's pretty extreme. Yeah, so bottle conditioned, of course. That helps it out. Maybe a little more cloudy there. Yeah, a lot of CO2. Yeah, that mellowed it out. I think I would recommend putting the yeast in with this one. I think that'll really mellow it out. Without it, it's kind of just abrasive with just a lot of CO2 on the and just a little bit of the dry hoppage is a little extreme. But the yeast tones it down a little bit. Yeah, but nothing insane for Belgian yeast. Like if you're expecting real wild Belgian yeast characteristics, this is very subtle, almost more like a saison or something. But maybe not even. Not even that spicy, but it's really hard to tell with that amount of dry hoppage in here. Yeah, it's got a really nice bitter edge at the very end. I really like that with the hops. I think it's hopped really well. I haven't had a whole lot of Belgian IPAs to be a real authority on them, but everything I've had from these guys is really good. And this is so far my favorite Belgian IPA that I have had. So I think it's a really good beverage. It's definitely worth a shot, especially if you get it in singles. I'm not sure if I was going to pick a Dieu du Ciel product, I maybe wouldn't be as adventurous as to buy a 6-pack of this one and maybe try the other ones first just to make sure that you're going to be okay with their stuff. And I guarantee you, you more than likely will be. They make a really good beer. So definitely check them out. And if you're into getting a Belgian IPA, I think this is a fabulous one to try out. I don't know. I'm thinking it's pretty good, really. Even though it's not typically a style I really go after or enjoy all that much, but yeah, there's some nice citrus notes in there for sure. I'm gonna 9 3/4 out of 11. I think it's a really well made beer. I think it's hopped very well. I think the yeast they chose for this is really good. It's really not really clashing with the hops or anything all that much. It's a very well put together beer for a Belgian IPA. I think it's pretty hard to beat this one. So I'd say like 9 3/4, something like that, out of 11. Yeah, yeah. Actually, the more I'm drinking, I'm just liking this more. It's warming up, ungassing. I think drinking it out of a goblet, letting it degas, swirling it a bit, letting it warm up a little bit, and this would maybe become like a 10 out of 11 for you, or 11 out of 11. You know, so yeah, pretty happy with this and all the products. Beerzerker, Dieu du Ciel, drink it, yeah.